morning, friends. This morning, as I'm delivering this message that will be taped and sent everywhere through Facebook, I'm doing so as the news has broken in many media circles and media instruments of Father Rhéal Forest's remarks uttered during a series or several sermons, homilies, while he replaced at Saint-Boniface Parish. Remarks that have really drawn the attention to not only himself, but to the parish, to the diocese, to the church. And this morning I don't want to walk through each of his comments. What I rather want to do in a succinct fashion is to make very precise two words I'm using as I'm talking to the media. It's always good to engage the media and to make as clear as possible to them, but even more clear, more importantly, clear to the First Nations, and I'll say it again, to the people that I know and that I've been with and listened to in the northern communities where we have missionaries. And then after that importance, then the importance of addressing myself in an evolving, thinking way with all the Catholic of our diocese. Those are my two key audiences. The First Nations, especially those who went to residential schools, and the generations after them, and all of the Catholic faithful of our diocese. So the two words that I wish to make very, very clear where they're coming from in my heart is, first of all, to say that in regards to the remarks of Father Rhéal, I completely disavow them and disavow the way of thinking, the attitude, and all that is behind those words. So I just want to make myself very clear again. I'm not just sorry or regret or wish he hadn't used those words. I wish to say very, very clearly, and I hope more and more people will come to that place of completely disavowing that kind of thinking. I'm going to say it, that kind of racism, all right? So Father Rhéal, as you heard, has been, his ability or his freedom, possibility of teaching and preaching has been completely withdrawn from him. He's still a priest, he can still celebrate Mass, confessions, anoint, that, of course, he's a priest. And Jesus and the Church continues to act through his priestly identity. But his words have deeply, deeply hurt people. And again, I'm going to say the Indigenous of our communities, especially those of our parishes who have shared their pain with me, and all Catholics. So I completely disavow his words and the attitudes and thinking and approaches, and I'm going to even say culture behind those words. Secondly, it's been reported, and correctly, that the Archdiocese that I apologize, but I want to make it more precise. What I am doing and what I'm asking all of the Catholics of the Archdiocese to join with me in this journey of reconciliation, journey of right relationships, is to go beyond saying we apologize to saying please forgive us. Because there's a difference. Apologize can be I'm really, really sorry that it happened, and maybe even I promise never to do it again, but it's still centered on the person saying, I apologize. When a person says, I apologize, it's still all about me. But when a person says, please forgive me, that's coming from a place in one's heart, one's thinking, and like I said, my thinking and my heart are evolving and having to change. I hope and pray having to be purified in the way where when a person says, please forgive me, they're saying, I have come to see a little bit of the pain that my words and actions have brought about in your life, even if I had the best of intentions. And I ask you to help me see the depth of that pain, of that hurt, of that wound, of that enduring dark legacy. Help me to see, to understand. I know then that means I have to listen. Help me to see that. And then, as I'm saying, please forgive me, what we're saying is, because it is important for me to have a relationship with you, I ask. I'm going to say, I humbly ask, I respectfully ask, please trust me once again, even though there have been so many things in the past that would validly bring you to say, that's it, doors closed, impossible with those people, that institution, can't. And I would understand where that would come from. But asking forgiveness is saying, please forgive me and help me. It's a place of vulnerability. It's a place of powerlessness. Just like Christ. Just like Jesus. A place of humility and vulnerability on the cross. That's where we're at right now. And so what we're saying is to the Indigenous people, to the First Nations and the Métis and the Inuit, please forgive us. Please forgive us. Find it in your heart, in the compassion and the goodness of your heart that the Creator has placed there. Find in that a desire to forgive us, forgive me, and to walk with me. But then that also means that I have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to become truly informed. The truth and reconciliation is a single thing. And so I need to come to know the truth. We need to come to know the truth. And so the diocese, inviting all of the faithful to come to know more fully that truth as told by, as shared by the Indigenous. And then this incident reveals to me how it's a continuing work of how myself and the priests, the shepherds of this diocese, its parishes, also need to go much farther in terms of learning. And we will be making those efforts with all the laity, but more particularly also with those who are called to lead in the ways of goodness and truth and holiness. And so with that, I ask you, please pray for our church. Pray for all of us. Pray for all of us within the church, and that we will walk in the way of Christ, in the way of truth, in the way of reconciliation. But there are some things we have to disavow, and there are many ways in which we can ask forgiveness. Thank you.